Hey, movie lovers. Welcome to another episode of the Does It Hold Up podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Emily. And this week we are going over the 1996's Mission Impossible.
Ooh, yeah, Mission Impossible. We're doing it for a couple different reasons. The first one is because the new Mission Impossible comes out in like a month.
Yeah.
And I wanted to revisit it for fun because you have never seen it.
Nope. I have seen some of the older, like the newer ones.
The older, newer ones?
I know I said older, but, you know, time works in certain ways.
Yeah, totally. That goes forward. But yeah, so the new one comes out like July 12th, something like that.
Yeah.
Only reason I know it comes out mid-July, one, I'm excited for it. I really like the last couple. They've been like picking up steam. It's great. But there's like a whole big controversy right now with that movie because it comes out 9 days before Oppenheimer comes out.
Okay.
Oppenheimer has exclusive deals to play in IMAX theaters or in IMAX screens across theaters. Nolan was like, I'm making it in IMAX for IMAX. Therefore, you will put it in IMAX or you will not get this movie.
Wow.
But, I mean, that's his right. Like, when he announced the movie and said, I'm doing this, he called the theaters and said, this is the deal we're making. He already made the deal. Well, Tom Cruise found out that the deal was made and was like, oh, dude, damn, I wanted IMAX screens. Because, you know, it costs more to see IMAX.
And it's a Mission Impossible film. Right. You would expect it to go IMAX.
Yeah, so he'll get IMAX for like the first week, but he wanted it longer. He wanted like a 3-week run, at least, of IMAX. And he's only going to get about 8 days. So he's been trying to fight with Christopher Nolan about giving up IMAX screens. Nolan's not going to budge, but that's also because Oppenheimer's release date was announced, I don't know, 6 months before the new Mission Impossible movie. So, you know, first come, first serve, dude. You missed out. But it's just funny that he's fighting him. So now Tom Cruise has been calling theaters and saying, hey, I don't want the IMAX theater. I want your Dolby guaranteed. I want your DTX guaranteed. I want your D-Box guaranteed. Any other premium format he can get, he wants guaranteed 3 weeks of his movie in it, which is trying to screw Oppenheimer from being played in those other premium. I don't know, man. It's a whole big thing right now.
That just seems like it's bad for everyone, because I love seeing movies in Dolby. Like, that is my favorite way to watch movies in a theater. And to find out, like, I'll get either one or the other, it just stinks.
Well, you're going to have to watch one of them in IMAX. I know. It's like the weirdest thing. It's such a crazy story to follow. But anyway, that's completely off track from what we do here, but I just thought it would be fun to talk about real quick. But the other reason we're doing it is because it is our 1-year anniversary of starting this podcast.
Woo!
Woo, yay, go us. That was so exciting. we sounded so enthused for it.
If I went any more enthused, I would spike.
Yes, you would, because, you know, laugh away from the microphone. No, it's fine. So anyway, it's our 1-year anniversary, and 1 year ago, we were going to see, or we had just seen...
We were going to go see
the new Top Gun movie, Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm. But you had never seen the original Top Gun.
Yes.
So we were like, well, we got to watch it. And I was like, and then we should talk about it. And that's how this whole podcast started. It all started because of Top Gun. Yeah. Tom Cruise's Top Gun. So I was like, you know what? For our anniversary, we should revisit Top Gun and then kind of do a Top Gun / Top Gun Maverick hybrid episode of like, I know it's only been a year since Top Gun Maverick came out, but is it still good? And then I was like, that's dumb. Right? Like, it wouldn't be that dumb, but at the same time, it's only been a year and we just covered Top Gun. So I don't think it's changed much in the last year. If it didn't change from 1986 to now, it's not going to change in a year.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Screw it. From now on, every year, we're going to cover a new Tom Cruise movie for the anniversary of the episode of the podcast.
Yep.
Which one's better? Mission Impossible. It's one of his other biggest films out there, and there's a new one coming out, so it made perfect sense to cover this movie.
Yes, it did.
And this is the first time you're seeing this movie.
Yes, first ever.
Oh,
I've seen like clips of just one aspect of this movie and nothing else.
Was it the drop? It was him hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, it was him hanging from the ceiling. Because that's like the thing from this movie, apparently.
Oh, it's the thing from movies. It's so recognizable. But we thought, okay, let's cover this because you've seen some of the newer ones without even seeing where it started.
Yeah.
Okay. God, why did I take you to see those movies if you've never seen the original?
I don't know. I think he just needed someone to go with you.
Maybe, because I've seen all the movies.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. Or I did love this movie. I'm not 100% sure anymore.
Oh, I was going to say, you can always love it and still not have it hold up.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Let's get right into this. Mission Impossible is about a secret agent named Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise, whose entire team dies when somebody betrays him. And now he has to put together a new team to steal a list of secret agents' real names to give the bad guys so he can find out who on his original team betrayed him.
Yep.
It's a very weird story, but it's like...
all the while he has to go outside of the system because the system thinks he's the one who did it.
Yeah. They think he's the betrayer.
Yeah.
So he's been excommunicado. I'm going to steal a little John Wick here. But so he's out. He can't do anything anymore. So he has to put together a team of people that have been excommunicated, who aren't a part of it. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what they call it. Disavowed. So yeah, he has to put together this whole team, and then they got to pull off this crazy cool heist.
Yeah.
But like, it's a mystery all at the same time. It's not just a heist movie. It's like a heist mystery, which is kind of cool. I love when genres mix like that. But let's talk about Mission Impossible box office. This movie came out May 21st, 1996, and it had a budget of about $80 million. It's a lot of money for 1996.
Yeah.
Domestically, it took in $180,981,886, though. That's huge. I think it's had some re-releases in there as well,
probably.
If I remember correctly. So that might have not been everything it made that year, but close enough. Total worldwide, it made $458 million. So another like $300 million overseas.
Yeah.
Adjusted for 2022 box office, $375,475,994. That's a nice haul, meaning this movie would have made money regardless when it came out. 1996, it was in the top 10. Where do you think it ranked?
4.
Ooh, one off. It was actually number 3.
I was hoping it was, but I was like,
Right above it was Twister. I love Twister. We're going to cover that eventually. And what it pushed one down was Nick Cage and Sean Connery and Michael Bay's The Rock. That's a fantastic movie. We should cover that at some point. Love that movie too. 2022, adjusted for inflation, it is still in the top 10. Where do you think it ranks?
5.
Man, you are just... No. Number 6. You were one off again. Number 5 was Jurassic World Dominion. That horrible, utter piece of shit.
Yeah, we don't talk about that movie.
We pretend it doesn't exist. What it pushed down to number 7 was Minions: Rise of Gru. Thank God.
We don't talk about that one either.
Let's just push that movie down as far as we can as well. I don't know how those movies made so much freaking money, but...
they're dumb fun.
It's good to see that Mission Impossible would have been able to at least get in there, because this is a better movie than either one of those movies could ever imagine being.
Yeah.
All right, hit me with some stuff. What do you got?
Well, it's interesting that it made that much money. The cinema score only had it in B+. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher because, it was an impossible mission.
Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Impossible Mission? So did you just try to tell a joke?
Yes.
Oh.
It was an impossible mission in Mission Impossible. Said what's on the tin. Get it? Yep.
Oh, jokes. I get those. Well, it's crazy that you say that, because I bet the number or the grade was lower since this is based on a TV show. And everybody was probably thinking it was going to be exactly like the TV show, but they kind of took it up a notch of more of the look at the explosions and the action and stuff like that you didn't get a lot of in the TV show. So people probably were a little disappointed in that.
Okay.
And that could be why it changed.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a TV show ever.
Well, there you go. The more you know.
Yeah.
Rainbow across the screen.
Yep.
All right. What else?
What do you think Roger gave it?
3 stars.
Right on the money.
Ooh, I'm getting good at this.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about the 2.5 stars, but that's fine.
I am too. The quote I grabbed from him was, "The bottom line on a film like this is Tom Cruise looks cool and holds our attention while doing neat things that we don't quite understand, doing them so quickly and with so much style that we put our questions on hold and go with the flow. When the movie is over, it turns out there wasn't anything except the flow. Our consolation, I guess, is that we had fun going with it."
Nice.
He was like, this is just a dumb fun movie.
He's 100% correct. This is one of those movies where you don't completely understand what's happening as you're watching it for the most part, but by the end it kind of all makes sense and you're just there for the ride because it's so damn exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, I didn't get confused. I do have some questions that we'll get through.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got confused. It was more or less like ooh, why'd he do that? Ooh, what's going on there? Oh my God. Like that kind of stuff. And you just are along for the ride. And any question you might have should have gotten answered by the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right, you ready? Let's get into this.
You don't want to hear about today's critics?
Oh, yeah, I forget about them because half of them are stupid. All right, go ahead.
The Rotten Tomato critic score has it at a 66%, and audience has it at a 71%.
Yeah, like I said, idiots. Come on, guys. This is not a 66% movie. Like, okay, hold on. Let's talk about a new movie real quick. The Little Mermaid, the remake, live action. Mm-hmm. I absolutely despise this movie. I think it was atrocious in every aspect of that word. And I can't believe people are loving it. Makes zero sense to me. Mm-hmm. It's at a 68% with critics. Yeah. How is this lower than that?
Question for you. How many critics score?
Of what? The Little Mermaid?
Yeah, how many critics have scored it?
296.
That's because only 65 has done Mission Impossible.
I know, but that's still... That's 65, you'd still get a higher number.
You get one person who's curmudgeon-y, it tanks the entire thing.
And would you say 71?
Yeah.
For audience, 94 for The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, people are dumb.
Yeah. Hey, viewers out there, listeners, you're not viewing anything. I mean, you might be viewing your phone screen. I don't know. But listeners out there, can we not with this? Stop giving Disney money to make these terrible live actions. They haven't made a good one since 2015's Cinderella. Nope, scratch that. 2016's The Jungle Book. Because that was a really great reinterpretation and retelling of that story. Mm-hmm. But we haven't had a good one since 2016. Beauty and the Beast, bad. The Little Mermaid, bad. The Lion King, didn't even watch it. Hot garbage. Never gonna watch it. Aladdin, okay. It was fine.
But it didn't need to happen.
We already had the perfect version of that movie back in, 1993, 2? Somewhere around there. Can we just stop? Give your money to more fun things.
Yeah, more original things.
Yeah, like Mission Impossible was in 1996, even though it was a TV show first, but this was his first movie, so kind of original, and they changed enough of it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was my little rant about how terrible The Little Mermaid was. Dear Hollywood, you suck. All right, let's get into this movie. First up, director Brian De Palma. You're like, I don't know who that is. You're staring at me completely blankly. Let me just tell you some of the movies that this guy directed. Carrie.
Which one?
The original Carrie. Stephen King's Carrie from way back in the day. He directed that. He directed Scarface. He directed The Untouchables. Like Heat, I think. Did he do? No, he didn't do Heat. He did Snake Eyes. That was after this movie, though. But, I mean, dude's just got a great list of movies that he's directed. And this one's pretty damn good, too.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Like,
this is a pretty movie.
It's a very pretty movie.
Yeah. They have a lot of really intriguing shots. A lot of their shot composition looks really good.
Yeah.
They really play up the whole spy aspect of, like, if you're paying attention, you can see these people watching from the background. People that you go back and they're like, hey, were you paying attention? Did you see
notice?
that?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you actually can see it. You're just not focusing on that.
Right. It doesn't do things like Ocean's 11, another heist movie, where you're watching stuff happen and then they replay it a little bit and they're like, did you notice these little things? And it's like, no, because they weren't there the first time. Yeah. You're now specifically pointing them out, which means you're showing them, but you couldn't see them in the original run through. Mm-hmm. This movie's like, no, it was always there.
You could have seen it. This is the exact shot. We're just zooming and enhancing.
It's zoom and enhance.
On the part that you should have noticed.
Exactly. And I think that works really well for this movie. I think he did a great job directing because I think all the cast here is also top notch. They nail their freaking roles.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them are like, obviously Tom Cruise, like seasoned veterans, and Jon Voight, seasoned veterans. Some are like, I don't know, maybe didn't think you were going to be as good as you are. But let's just run through this cast real quick. So Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt. You'll know Tom Cruise from every movie ever. Well, yeah. He makes so much stuff. But, okay, is Tom Cruise the last... Well, I can't say that. But maybe he is. Is Tom Cruise the last movie star? The guy who will get you to go see a movie? Not because of the story. Not because of anything else. Because Tom Cruise is in the movie.
No, he's not the last one.
Who is? Who else?
Well, do you mean like the last one as in he's still doing it today? Or...
Yeah, like I'm going to go see Mission Impossible because, one, I actually do like the movies, but two, Tom Cruise is in it.
I'm not the person to ask. I don't really have that kind of person where I'm like, oh, you're in it? I'm going to see it because you're in it. But there's tons of people who go and see Dwayne Johnson movies just because he's in it.
Yeah, but he sucks.
Agreed.
He's a terrible actor.
Agreed. But people, you cannot doubt that people have gone to movies just because he's in it.
Hi, Mom. I know you're listening, and I know you love The Rock. Stop giving him your money. He's a terrible actor. I know you want to see all of his movies, but stop it.
Exactly. So there are other movie stars out there. Is he like the last best one? Sure.
He's the last one that I actually care about and who makes good movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just interesting, though, because this man's been doing it since the 80s, and he's still crushing it to today. And, like, people went and saw Mission Impossible, one, because they knew the TV show, but two, Tom Cruise was in it. And he was coming off a ton of movies like Cocktails, Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Risky Business. These were big hits that he had before this movie. People are like, I gotta go see what else he's doing.
So, as of today, do you think people are more interested in going to see his movies to see how he tops himself doing his crazy stunts?
So yes and no, right? Because like his stunts are some of the best parts of the movie, but it's not everything, because the stunts only take up 5 minutes of a 2.5 hour runtime, and yet people are flocking to the theater anyway. You could watch that stunt performed. You could watch that video on YouTube. Somebody's gonna post it and be like, "Oh my God, this." Plus, news outlets are talking about it before the movie ever comes out. How is he going to top himself? This is the thing that he's going to do. When he was dangling off a helicopter in Mission Impossible Fallout from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Jesus, I don't know what year it is. But when he was doing that, it was on the news. They were showing video of it on the news, like it happening, and they were showing clips, and people still flocked to the theater to see it. That movie still made a bunch of money. So yes, I think that's part of the draw. But I think people are just really invested in Tom Cruise, and especially Ethan Hunt as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. So John Voight plays Jim Phelps. He's the bad guy in this.
He like always plays a good bad guy.
Yeah, he's got that face. He's got bad guy face.
But also bad guy voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like you want to like him, but you know he's going to stab you in the back.
Which is why it's really weird. So we covered Lara Croft Tomb Raider like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. And he is the dad in that, who's the good guy. And I watched it, and I was like, you're not a good guy though. Like when's the mic gonna drop and you're gonna turn out to be the bad guy?
I mean, he's the bad guy because he didn't come back. There you go.
Well, he died, but yeah, I don't know. John Voight, he's great. He's been in a ton of stuff. Nothing you would know.
Really, I know him though.
Yeah, you know him from like I'm talking about stuff before he did this movie.
Okay, yeah.
I only ever talk about what they did before this movie. He was in Heat, Coming Home, Deliverance. I'm sure you've heard of Deliverance, but you've probably never seen it. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. Then we got Krieger, who's played by Jean Reno.
Love him.
Oh, yeah? What have you seen him in?
Godzilla. After this movie.
Yeah, 1998's Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him in that movie, and I love him in this movie.
Yeah, he's always great. Other people might know him as Leon from Leon the Professional, a hitman. If you love him, go check that movie out. The movie is, chef's kiss. It's so freaking good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Then we have the last one I kind of want to bring. Oh, I got two more that I want to bring up. Ving Rhames plays Luther. People might know him from Pulp Fiction. Came out, I believe, the same year as this movie, but before this movie.
I've never seen that one either, mostly because I think it's going to be too violent.
It's very violent, yes.
Yes, that's why I've avoided it. But I recognize his face, and I have no idea from where.
What do you mean? You literally I know that guy, but I just can't place him?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. So probably from something newer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's been in other Mission Impossible movies.
Okay, well, that would probably do it. That was actually one of my questions.
He made an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He played Charlie 27. I have no idea who that is.
No idea what that is.
Let's see, what else has he been in? Mafia, Won't Back Down, Soldiers of Fortune, Piranha 3D.
Nope.
All right, well, then I can't help you. And you probably only know him from the newer Mission Impossible movies. He always pops in for a couple minutes to help him with something. And the last one I want to talk about is Claire, played by Emmanuelle Burt, or Biart. Not real sure how to pronounce her name. She's the bad girl who is lying to Ethan Hunt the entire time. And I'm sorry, but good God, she looks so familiar. Every time I watch this movie, I'm just like, who are you? And I know her name, but at the end of the day, she always reminds me of the chick from, Me Before You. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
About the chick who's helping the dude in the wheelchair.
Is that Emilia Clarke?
Is it Emilia Clarke in that one? I'm pretty sure. I think no.
So?
Yes, you are right. It is Emilia Clarke. She looks so much like Emilia Clarke. All right, guys out there listening right now, do yourselves a favor. Google Emmanuel Burt, Beart, and then Google, what's her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke, and look at their pictures. They are identical twins, and yet they are like 30 years apart. Mm-hmm. It is insane. Now, if Emmanuel Burt would have existed 80 years ago and had passed away before Emilia Clarke was born, I would have been like, damn, reincarnation is real. That's how freaking similar they look. It's unbelievable. But yeah, like, this is just a stacked cast.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's good. You also got Henry Czerny in it, Vanessa Redgrave, Kristen Scott Thomas. Like, these are all named people who, whether you know the name or not, you'll recognize the face, and they've all been in big things. Mm-hmm. Stacked cast. And De Palma did a great job directing them. Let's get into the actual movie now. We start with the mission. They are going to get the MacGuffin. We're just going to call it a MacGuffin because what they actually have to get means nothing.
Yeah.
But they have to get the MacGuffin, and this is where... Well, I guess not. The first thing we get is a guy admitting to working with, like, Russians and doing some bad stuff. And we get the reveal that the guy he's talking to was Tom Cruise in a mask. The first mask pull of the Mission Impossible franchise.
Yep.
And it's great because he looks awesome. But then when you rewatch it after knowing it's Tom Cruise, you're like, oh, I can totally see it. But then he's got a cool mask.
I love the fact that pretty much every time he wears a mask, you can tell it's someone wearing a mask.
You shut your mouth right now. You cannot.
I could pretty much tell every time he was wearing a mask.
But it's great. It always looks good.
Yeah.
It always looks good. So we get that, and then we get the fateful mission where they have to go steal the MacGuffin, and his whole team dies. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know who I forgot to mention? Emilio Estevez is in this. Charlie Sheen's brother, the dude from Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in this. He plays Jack, who's like a computer guy.
I love Jack.
Do you like how Jack dies?
We don't talk about that, but yeah, how dare they? How dare they? It's in all caps on my notes. How did they just kill Jack that way?
Yeah. He's sitting on top of an elevator, doing his little hacking stuff, getting them to the right floors. And he has control of the elevator. Or does he?
Until he doesn't.
Yep. And he's literally sitting on an elevator, and it goes all the way to the top floor. And the little spikes, I guess, or beams or whatever they are, that are to help stop the elevator when it gets to the top, just punctures right through his face.
Yeah.
Luckily, they don't show it, though. As violent as it is, like...
It could be worse, but they do show some stuff.
In my head, I'm like, oh my god, it goes like through his face and it's just splurting blood. And I'm like, then I watch the movie and no, that...
I mean, it goes through his face, but it doesn't splurt blood.
But they also don't really show it all that much either. So,
it's a quick cutaway.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, it's graphic. It's like Quentin Tarantino graphic, but not really.
I mean, to be fair, it had my mouth agape for a good minute.
Yeah, that's true. It was pretty good, though. So he dies... And then his whole team starts dying. A car gets blown up. Jon Voight's character gets shot and falls off a bridge. Mm-hmm. Crazy. And
the one chick that Ethan Hunt has been seen canoodling with gets stabbed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're not sure what's happening. And Ethan Hunt is losing his mind because he can't figure out what is going on. Well, how did everything go south so fast? Mm-hmm. And then he gets called in by the lead of the MI6 organization that they work for to be like, there was a mole in your team and you're it since you're the only one still alive.
Yeah.
And Hunt's like, but I didn't do it. And they're like, but you did. And he's like, but I didn't. But you did. It's like the longest scene ever, even though it's only like a minute and a half long. They're back and forth of like, you did it. I didn't. You did it. It's so long. It feels so long.
It feels so long, and yet they do it well enough so that it feels tense. Yeah. You get that sense of just like, oh my god, his entire world is now coming against him and he's at the end of his rope, basically.
Yeah.
No, what's he going to do from here?
I get it. Just trim it up a little bit. So he gets away by blowing up a fish tank, which is really cool. And like the water coming, that's a hell of a shot.
Oh, yeah. Using some of his spy technology, the gum.
The red gum, green gum, put them together and you get boom.
Just don't chew it.
Yeah, just don't chew it. Thanks, Jack. Good advice. Don't chew the bomb. Go figure. So he gets away, and this is when he's like, I need to figure out what's happening. Except he doesn't have to do it alone. Because the woman who he thought was in the car? Mm-hmm. Wasn't in the car.
Yeah.
And she shows back up.
Yep.
And he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm here to help.
Jack was my husband.
Yeah. Okay. How did you feel about that? You got like 70-year-old John Voight married to like a 20-year-old girl in this movie.
Yeah. Also, I thought she said Jack was her husband, and isn't Jack the guy who gets stabbed in the face?
I thought she said Jim was her husband.
Maybe. Too many J names.
Stupid J names. And they both die.
Yeah.
One of them. I always thought it was Jim. I could be wrong, though. Maybe you're right.
I thought it was Jack, but I could also be wrong. Because then they act like they've been married.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Because at the end of the thing, he talks about how she seduced Ethan. And he's like, I know how good it is because I've tasted it. So maybe that means they weren't married. Maybe that just means he's tasted it once or twice.
Could be.
When they were figuring everything out. I don't know. It's super weird, but she's back.
Yeah.
And this is when they have to go put the team together. Because they have to steal what's known as the knock list. Mm-hmm. And the knock list is a list of all agents, their secret identities, their real identities, all that good stuff. And they have to give it to Max, who nobody's ever met, who they only speak to online. And they're trying to set up this like sting to catch Max.
Because that's what they were trying to protect in their dummy mission, in which everyone died.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, if we get the real thing, then we can get the information of who actually was the mole.
Yeah.
So.
And who wants it. And
yeah.
It's a whole big sting operation. They're going to take everybody down. But Hunt is like, well, we're not going to wait for MI6 to get it. I'm going to get it first. So they set up this whole plan to get the knock list, which is held in a very, very, very secure facility.
In Langley.
With one dude that has access to it.
Yeah, only one dude.
One dude who has to go through voice, fingerprint, and
dual cards. So like there's someone in the antechamber who has to just sit there whenever he's ready to go in, who has a separate card.
It's a lot.
Imagine having that job.
And then the room that he sits in is like soundproof and temperature controlled, where if it even changes 1 degree temperature in there, the alarm will sound. If a noise is whispered while the alarm is activated, then it will go off.
At a certain decibel level.
Yes. It's insane.
Not
this
to
protection
mention,
of this list.
If he's not in the room, then the floor, if even a drop of liquid gets on there,
pressure plates,
it all goes off. Like
what?
This is when I wrote lives up to its name. This is the impossible mission in Mission Impossible. Like, how? There's also a laser grid at the vent up top. So, what?
Yeah. But how are they going to get this, Emily? How are they going to do it?
Oh, have special spy gadgets that completely make everything that they have not mean anything.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they're also going to do it because they're going to get a team. They're going to get the best team. Mm-hmm. So Jean Reno as Krieger is like the thief. He's the guy who gets into places and does things.
I also believe he's the forger.
He's the forger and he's the muscle.
Yeah.
He wears a lot of hats. Yeah. And then they get Ving Rhames Luther, who I love this casting. Mm-hmm. Because earlier in the movie, the computer guy is played by Emilio Estevez. He wears glasses, a backwards hat. He looks like a freaking nerd.
Yeah.
He looks like a computer guy.
Yeah.
And then you get this big 290-pound muscle man, black guy, Ving Rhames, deep voice.
Yeah.
First of all, love his voice.
Oh.
But you get him, and he is the new computer guy. What a subversion for casting, and it's freaking brilliant.
Hey, anyone can be good at computers.
I understand.
Just don't have to just be a geeky white dude.
Why are you from New York all of a sudden?
I don't know.
What was that? It's so weird. Everybody's like, who's the new person? Okay, and this got way off track. Let's get back to the movie here. All right, anyway, so Ving Rhames plays the computer guy. I love this casting. It's brilliant because it's just like, why isn't he the muscle?
Yeah.
He is muscle. Just let him do it.
I absolutely love that they portray him as like the good guy, even though every single one of these people are disavowed. They have been
disavowed.
Yeah.
Not disavowed. Disavowed.
Oh, okay. Sounds the same to me. Mm-hmm. So they've all done something wrong, quote unquote, to not be backed by their government anymore. And it's like, I kind of wonder what you did because you seem like such a good guy.
Right? Like, I kind of want to know, like, I need a Krieger and a Luther backstory.
Yes.
Like, I need more of why they aren't included in things. And we might get it in later movies. I don't remember all of the movies, like, word for word. Mm-hmm. So I'm not 100% sure
I can understand why Krieger is
Yeah, he likes to kill people and likes to just work outside the law to get stuff done. And it doesn't matter to him who gets hurt.
Yeah.
So I get it. But they have to go steal all the stuff with that team. And they dress up as firefighters to break in. Mm-hmm. Well, Luther is in a van, clicking away on his little click, click, click keyboard. And he changes all the alarms and he does all this. And this is where we get that amazing scene of him dropping in to get this list. Tell me about this scene, because this scene is magnificent in every aspect.
Oh, it is so tense. And the fact that they don't have any score or anything under it is wonderful, because we talked about the whole decibel thing. You have to know just how quiet it is to understand and appreciate, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh, it is that tense.
Right, like, you knew what was going to happen. Yeah. You know they get out, and yet you're still, like, on the edge of your seat, gripping the armrests on your chair, and you're like, what are they going to do? Are they going to make it? Yeah, of course they're going to make it. It's a movie.
At the same time, I absolutely love just how acrobatic Tom Cruise can be.
Oh, it's so good. When he falls and he's like
flipping
hanging by
around
his feet.
And he like daintily puts his foot on the desk. Like,
oh yeah, like a ballerina.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
So good.
That's Cruise and Del Palma working so well together to choreograph this beautiful scene where it's like, okay, a heist. We've seen heist movies. Usually it's like, we got to trick people and we got to go in and we got to get out fast and we got to do all this. And to slow this one down and use these minimal moments to create the tension rather than like, the guards are coming. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Explosions.
Yeah. It was like, no. We're taking it to the most simple thing. You have to be quiet. And I remember the first time I watched this movie and that scene came on. I didn't know it yet. You know, it was only a couple years out from this movie the first time I saw it. So I wasn't aware. I wasn't on the internet a lot. It wasn't big. It wasn't anything. I had heard about the scene, but I didn't like see clips of it or anything. And I remember watching it and I was like holding my breath during the whole scene, trying not to make a noise. Like if I made a noise, it was going to set off the alarm in the movie. Like that's how into it I was, where I was just like, don't speak, don't do anything. They're going to get caught. And then like, relaxing when they finally got out because it's that good.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen another heist moment. Now I've seen a few good heist moments. I don't think I've ever seen a heist moment this incredible.
Yeah.
Since this movie.
This tense, this almost dire.
Mm-hmm. Like Ocean's 11 is fun. We got like Army of the Dead is okay. Army of Thieves, the follow-up to that was just fine. Mm-hmm. Like their heist stuff is Ant-Man's heist is just okay.
Yeah.
Even some of the other Mission Impossible heists are just okay. This one though, a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. So they succeed. We get this part where like the water's gonna drip off of him and he catches it in his hand and the guy's coming back in and they're like, oh my God. And then Krieger fricks it all up, man. Drops his knife. As he's pulling Tom Cruise back up into the vent, his knife slips.
Why do you have your knife out in the first place?
Because of the rat. The rat that was
just
trying to get to him.
Just leave the rat alone.
I know.
It's fine.
The rat wasn't even coming near you, dude. Chill out.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had like a rat phobia, it would make more sense, but I don't think we ever established that.
No.
It was just a rat.
It's just a rat.
Deal with it.
But they assume everyone's afraid of rats.
Yeah. I'm not. Rats are adorable. Cute. But he drops his knife, and right as the guy walks back in and turns off the alarm, it slams into the desk and sticks straight up. And I'm like, that's magical. That is fantastic.
That looks purposeful.
Yes. Like you sent a message.
Yeah.
But the guy sees it, and that's how they know the knock list has been stolen. So they have the list. Now they need to set up the meet, because Cruise needs to meet Job and Max, the guys that they're trying to get this knock list to. Because he wants to know. He still needs to figure out who the mole was.
Yeah.
But he's met Max already. Now he needs to meet Job, the guy behind Max, who was originally going to steal the list and sell it and do all that stuff.
Yeah. So he's going to get a whole bunch of money from Max.
150 million, I think.
Why not?
No, 10 million. 10 million.
Yeah. And he was promised that Job would be there.
Yes, Job.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said Joe.
Nope.
I was like, there's nobody named Joe in this movie.
Job.
Jobo. It reminds me of I Love You, Man.
Off topic.
Yeah, off topic, but when he's trying to come up with nicknames for her. When Paul Rudd's trying to come up with nicknames for, what is his name? Tall guy's name.
I don't know.
I don't remember. The guy who plays Marshall on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
When he's trying to come up with the names, and he calls him Jobin.
Yeah, and it sticks.
See you later, Jobin. Oh, that's a bad name. So just whenever I say Job, that's what I think of. Weird. Off topic. It's fine. That's a great movie. You should definitely go check that movie out. Mm-hmm. So they get the list. They set up a meeting. It all goes south. Now they have to figure out how to basically do it again. And the reason it goes south is Krieger turns on them and is like, ha ha ha, I'm a bad guy, and I've been trying to get the knock list for myself. Screw you guys. You're like, what the hell, Krieger? Like, you could have had $2 million. What are you doing?
Yeah. The money is there. You're going to get the money.
Right, so I never understood this. Mm-hmm. If you successfully, and this is in every movie, if you successfully do a heist where you're going to get paid millions of dollars, yeah, you're on a team of 5 people. So that $10 million only becomes $2 million each. Take the $2 million.
Why not cut 2 people out of it, though?
Because when does that ever work?
Never.
Exactly. It's like this dude's never seen a movie before. Yeah, but I mean, movies have to exist in their world, right?
Sure. Maybe they always work in a movie in that world.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be our world.
There's always that one asshole who's like, I'm going to take it all for myself. And it never works out for him.
They're greedy.
Never works. Yeah, but if you take the $2 million now and you guys worked well as a team, just go do more stuff and then get more money. You can't be a one-man show and get millions of dollars.
He already had alliances with...
He did.
People who we thought were deceased.
Yeah. So they have to go meet Max on a train to give her the knock list to discover who Job is.
Yes.
Right before this happens, what does Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt figure out?
That Jim is still alive.
Jim is still alive. He figures out that he faked it all. He put it all together that Phelps, played by Jon Voight, is the bad guy.
Yeah, I still have no idea how he figured it out from the Bible, coming from...
In the beginning of the movie, when they're discussing the first mission that they have to go do, Jim talks about how he was put up at the Grand Hotel, or whatever the name of the hotel was, the Grand Duke something hotel in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And he talks specifically about how that's the hotel he had to stay at. And then the Bible that he has, that he's getting all the information out, that was in their room, is from that hotel. The only person that's ever been there, Jim. So he puts 2 and 2 together that way. If this Bible exists, who had access to this Bible to set up the Job personality, to get the quotes and the lines right from the Bible that he's using to communicate with Max? Who had that Bible? Job. Who's Job? Jim.
I mean, were they specific to that Bible? Because otherwise,
No.
there's tons of Bibles out there.
Understandable, but that Bible's in that room. Somebody on his team was the mole. Jack didn't have a Bible. Claire didn't have a Bible. There's only one person who had a Bible. Who was that Grand Drake? That was it. The Drake Hotel. There's only one person that had a Bible, and it was the guy who stayed at the Drake, who was Jim. That's why he figures it out. No, I'm telling you, none of those people memorized the Bible to be able to be pulling these quotes out of there all willy-nilly like that. So it had to be somebody who had access, and it was his Bible. That's how he figured it out.
Okay.
God, how did you...
Seems like a jump in logic, but okay.
Is it, though?
Yeah.
You know somebody on the team is a mole.
Sure.
Who's the only one with a Bible?
That room.
No. No, okay.
I'm fairly certain there's more than one Holy Bible there.
We're gonna go watch it again.
Okay.
Wrong. So that's how he figures it out. So what does he do? He goes to the train dressed as...
Jim.
With his little cool mask and everything.
Yeah, I want to know who he goes through to get those masks, because they are well done.
Yeah.
And he is disavowed right now.
Disavowed. Stop putting an N in there.
I'm fairly certain it's disavowed.
Pretty sure it's disavowed.
I don't know.
We're going to argue about this until we figure it out later. And it's probably going to be after this podcast, and no one listening's ever going to get the answer to which it is.
It'll be a random disclaimer in the details of this
Check
episode.
the description. I'm probably not going to put it there.
No.
Because I will forget. Anyway, so he's dressed like that because this is where he catches Claire, who's been seducing him this entire time, been like, hey, let's do this together. Hey, we can do this. We're a team, and blah, blah, blah.
Am I alone here in thinking all of those scenes were just awkward? Super awkward.
Between the two of them?
Yeah. Of them, like, she's trying to be romantic towards him.
Okay, so here's my one complaint with Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. he's not a great romantic lead. Mm-hmm. He's awkward.
Yeah.
And that makes women around him awkward. And every movie I've ever seen where he needs to, like, think about all the Top Gun stuff.
Yeah, it never works well.
No, even in the original Top Gun, he was awkward. But then in, like, Top Gun Maverick, he's super awkward. And somehow it always works out for him anyway. So I've kind of just had to get past that in my head. Tom Cruise, not a great leading romance man. And so, yes, it's all awkward.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was on purpose because, you know, she is the villain, but...
Nope. Just awkward.
Okay.
Just awkward. She was great.
She was
playing
good.
off his awkwardness. So they've been flirting this whole time. She's seduced him. So they're going to run away together with their part of the money after they figure out who the mole is. Mm-hmm. But once he figures out it's Jim, somehow he puts 2 and 2 together that Claire's also a part of it.
Well, he has kind of had these doubts since the beginning. I mean, it was the whole idea of if you're alive, you're the mole.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm not the mole.
I saw you blow up in a car. How were you not in that car?
Yep.
Oh, it's because she paid somebody who looked like her to go get in the car instead. God, that's evil.
Evil.
Hey, random person, can you go get my car for me? Ha 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 ha. Blow up.
Yeah.
So he figures it out. So he gets dressed up as Jim Phelps, waits for her in the back of the train so that, you know, she can confess to being part of it. Mm-hmm. She realizes that it's Hunt under the mask. And so does Jim, who just happens to be standing in the back of the train somewhere.
In the shadows.
In the shadows. Okay, this part pisses me off so much. You sit there the entire time Cruz is dressed as you. Hunt is dressed as you.
Yeah.
Setting a trap for Claire. And you're just, hanging out?
Yeah.
You're like, are you turned on by this? Like, you want to see it played out? Like, I don't understand what the point is. Why didn't you just come out earlier?
I was going to say, he has a weird fascination with causing the most damage. Like, it's the big villain downfall of you have to see the hero suffer. And that's what gives them time to do whatever it is they're going to do.
But he doesn't even do anything.
I know. It's just saying, like, oh, I'm going to cause the most damage by making you realize that the person that's been hitting on you is actually working for me.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate when he gets revealed from the shadow. But he comes out and he's like, I'm the bad guy. And him and Claire are going to run off together. But Claire's like, we don't have to kill anybody. We don't have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And he gets angry.
He's our fall guy.
Yeah, and he gets angry and he shoots Claire.
Yeah.
Shoots her. Sorry, time out, pause. You have Ethan frickin' Hunt in front of you who's been trying to take you down this entire time, and you shoot the person on your side? If you're going to shoot her, at least shoot Ethan first.
Yeah. Or immediately shoot him then, like...
Well, he shoots her, and then at the same time, he gets like, attacked.
Oh, well, maybe she's right. He'll be my fall guy.
No, there's never that moment. He's like, bam, shoots her, and Ethan jumps on him and starts attacking him to take the gun from him.
And somehow he gets away? I thought he, like, immediately went up onto the top of the train after shooting her.
No, he knocks Hunt out.
Oh.
He knocks him out while they're skirmishing. Mm. But at the same time, Hunt has used his little eyeglasses that have a camera in them to be like, haha, I'm not the only one who knows you're alive still. Yeah. And who's on the other line? The leader of the MI6.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, he knows he's screwed, but he's going to try to get away anyway. They go up to the top of the train.
Which is a kind of like a bullet train. It's the train between England and France that goes under a tunnel. So it's moving super fast. Yeah, it goes at like 200 miles an hour or whatever. And is about to go under a tunnel.
Yeah. So Hunt climbs up after him to the top of the train. Now, Phelps has like magnets and stuff. It makes perfect sense why he can be up there. How the hell is Hunt on top of this train?
It's actually one of my nits of they have finger strength of gods.
Yeah. Well, no. Hunt does.
Yeah.
Not Phelps. Phelps has those magnet hand
I'm fairly
thingies.
certain he has to use his fingers at some point because he loses the
well, he's harnessed in at that point.
Ah. Okay. Hunt has the finger strength of gods.
I know. It annoys the hell out of me. It's so cool. It looks so cool. Them fighting on top of I hit my microphone. So if you hear a little ding, that's what that was. But he is on the train, and it's really cool looking. He attacks him. He lets go of the train at some point and like flies towards him, which looks so cool. And I'm like, God, I kind of want to try that, right? Like, don't you want to try it?
A little bit, but at the same time, I know I don't have the finger strength of gods, so...
I just want to get hit with that kind of wind and get thrown back like that. That would be so much fun. So they've had this skirmish, and who shows up? Krieger, in a helicopter, to get Phelps out of there because they were working together. Go figure.
Yeah.
Who didn't see that coming?
All the while,
Yes.
we have the only real true good guy of this movie, of Luther, kind of jamming the signal for the bad person. Because they gave Max the knock list.
Yeah.
But Ethan Hunt was like, hey, don't let her actually use this.
trust you.
I trust you. Do not let this get out. Yep. And so he's been jamming it. He's like doing all the things that he has to do to make sure that list does not go anywhere.
Yeah. I know. He's the only good person in this. Well, I guess Ethan's good.
Yeah.
Outside of our main protagonist, Luther is the only other good person.
Yes.
Which is why he makes so many more appearances throughout the rest of the Mission Impossible franchise. Because we love him.
Yes.
They have this fight, then they go in a tunnel, and Krieger has to fly the helicopter into the tunnel because Hunt has the little harness that was supposed to be for Phelps to get away. Cruz has hooked that to the train.
Yeah.
First of all, why does the train just have a random freaking hook on the top of it that you can hook things to?
Oh, you know.
Convenience?
Yeah. For
Alright.
whenever you need to hook planes to them.
Yeah. So he's hooked, so he can't, like, go up. So he has to fly into the tunnel with the train, and the conductor's like, must go faster.
He's going to ram us. Go faster.
And he's freaking out, and it's great. And then they jump to the helicopter.
Yeah.
And what I love about this fight, though, is they let the sound of the train and the helicopter overpower everything. There's no talking. There's no dialogue in this fight.
No.
It's just the fight.
Which makes so much more sense. If they had random dialogue here, we'd all just be angry about it.
Yeah.
Be like, you couldn't hear anything on top of that train
Right.
in this tunnel with a helicopter behind you? Come on.
But we do get one line of dialogue, and it's just Ethan Hunt screaming, red light, green light, sticks the bubble gum to the helicopter, and jumps from the helicopter. Just jumps. And the helicopter blows up, killing everybody, and shoving Tom Cruise back to the train, who, finger strength of the gods,
Yep.
catches the train and survives and wins.
Yeah.
Now, you said ooh. Why'd you say ooh?
Because the deaths in this movie are just brutal. Because Jim was still under the plane when it blew up.
Helicopter?
So, yeah, I keep saying plane.
Yes,
The
you do.
helicopter. Some flying mechanism, okay? He was still under it, so he gets smushed. And
Smushed.
it is, you see it. Not like gory, bloody, but like,
but
you know it's happening.
He hits the train tracks, and then the helicopter immediately hits him. Yeah. But it cuts away really fast.
It does. It's tasteful, but it's still brutal because you know what has happened.
This is my favorite thing about movies like this. It's one of the things I love about like horror movies. I don't like the gore horror where it's like, how much blood can we spill? I like the ones where it's like, my imagination is worse than what I'll ever be able to see on screen.
Yeah.
And what I'm picturing happen to Phelps in my head is like, ooh, I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So that's it. He won. Because at the same time that he's taking down the helicopter, Max, who's trying to upload the knock list and being blocked by Luther, is arrested by MI6.
Yeah. And nothing went through because they got in a tunnel. And nothing can go through a tunnel.
Nothing can go through a tunnel. I mean, it's 1996. Nothing could go through a tunnel in 96.
Nothing goes through a tunnel now.
Yeah,
I've been in that tunnel. Nothing goes through
It's
that
like
tunnel.
literally 30 years later, and it's almost 30 years later, and we still can't do stuff in tunnels. It's crazy. I know I took the subway to school all the time when I was going to college, and good luck. Good luck. I had to download every music thing that I wanted to listen to, because good luck.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the end of the movie. Ethan Hunt has been accepted back in, but he has passed. He doesn't want to be part of it anymore. But guess who's
Luther.
back in?
Luther!
Woo! Party, Luther,
Yeah.
Luther. Yeah. So excited for him. He's back. And it's just like, it's such a warm feeling because you know he's going to go do good stuff.
Yeah.
Especially because he shows up in later MI movies. And you're like, yes!
And I feel like I have to watch him now just for Luther, okay?
I don't think he's in 2.
We
I think
can
he's
skip
in
it.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay. I can at least skip one of them.
You could. 2 isn't great anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
That's it. That's the end. Thoughts?
Yeah, questions and nits?
Yeah, sure. Let's go into it.
I have a nit.
Yeah.
Smoking on a plane. It's one of the first things that we see Jim doing.
Yeah,
We should have
nice.
known he was the villain.
1996. Everybody smoked on planes.
Terrible. Terrible choice.
Yeah. Whatever.
Hey, don't have fire in a plane. Yeah, smoking's okay. What?
1996. We weren't
What?
smart back then.
And then I personally am not a fan of the POV shots. They're really neat.
Oh, I love them.
But we get a lot of shots from Ethan's perspective as he's going to do a whole bunch of things. And they put me on edge, and I don't like them at all.
Oh, I love them so much.
And I get that they're supposed to be super cool. I personally am not a fan. But
that's fine.
They also did the wonderful shot of the sideways shot between the elevator at the first place that they were trying to do a mission.
Ooh, yeah, where we
goes
see
through the
Jack
wall.
sitting on the elevator, and then Ethan and them waiting outside the elevator.
And then they
So beautiful.
walk onto the elevator, but
Yes.
it's one shot
Yes.
because they only did like half a set. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And that adds so much tension when you have the villain come through.
They do some really cool things with the camera in this movie that you just wouldn't expect for a simple heist movie.
I was going to say, you don't need them, but they are wonderful that they are there.
Love it. I only had 2 questions, and we kind of already covered them, so we can move on. They were about Jim at the end.
Is this the most recognizable theme?
No. If you listen to our episode about the movie music draft that we did with our buddies from the It's Movie Night podcast, no, the most recognizable theme is Rocky's.
Or Jaws?
I think Rocky beats Jaws.
I don't know. But every time, it plays like 3 or 4 times in this movie, and every single time I was like, yes!
Oh, dude,
let's go.
like, we probably just named the top 3. Yeah. Add Jurassic Park in there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's like the 4 most recognizable movie themes. And Darth Vader, Imperial March. Those are the top 5 most recognizable movie themes in history, most likely.
Yeah.
So it's in there. I don't know what number it's at, but it's definitely in the top 5.
Is this just a retread character for Cruise, Hunt, and Maverick?
No, not even close.
They seem very similar of the whole, I'm a good guy, but I'm going to do whatever I want to get things done. And he
Maverick
seems also
doesn't.
very cavalier.
But Maverick doesn't do whatever he wants to get things done. He still plays by the rules, where Hunt is completely outside the rules. I think that would be like saying I don't know, Dr. Dolittle the same as Iron Man, just because they're played by the same actor. Like, I think you're just seeing Tom Cruise and, he's doing
similar.
action stuff. Therefore, it's the same character.
I don't know. He acts kind of similar. Go back and watch it.
Come on. Really?
At least at the beginning. When they're all joking.
I don't think so. Let us know in the comments what you think. Is Ethan Hunt and...
Maverick.
What is Maverick's name? Why am I drawing a blank on this? I was going to be like, is his name Ethan Hunt? Is Maverick's name Ethan Hunt? That would be crazy.
Well, we did find out that Ethan Hunt's codename is Maverick.
Pete Mitchell.
Ha.
Pete Maverick Mitchell. That's his name. No, his name wasn't Maverick. Somebody else's was.
It was Hunt's.
Liar. I don't know. We made a whole fact about it. You should go check it out over on like our TikTok or YouTube or something.
And realize that Ethan Hunt is Maverick.
Lies. Anyway. You got more questions?
Yeah, why can they choose to accept? Why is this a choice-based thing? Don't you just get a mission?
No. I mean, I can completely understand why they could choose. What if it's like a mission that they're just not comfortable with, or they feel like they're not the right person for? They can probably deny it and give it to somebody else. Just because your boss thinks you're the best person for the job doesn't make it necessarily true.
All right. And then why do all the secret agents wear suits all the time?
Because it's sexy.
Yeah, but it totally gives away the fact that you're a secret agent.
But it's sexy. No, I mean like stockbrokers wear suits all the time. Lawyers wear suits all the time. Just because you wear a suit doesn't mean you're a special agent. Like, are you serious? So every single basketball player, when they show up to the arena before a game and they're in a suit, they're a special agent?
Yep.
Okay.
Every single one.
I will never wear a suit again so that I will not falsely impersonate a special agent. Every single dude who's ever gotten married has been a special agent.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
It's fine.
Special agent for the dude team.
Not wearing a suit anymore, ever.
Great.
You got more questions?
What is one piece of memorabilia you'd like from this movie?
The gum. I want the red light, green light gum.
Nice.
But I want it to actually work.
Oh, well, then you only get it once.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just knowing that it'll work.
Just knowing it'll work is enough. What about you?
I want the floppy disk. The knock floppy disk.
You can just buy a floppy disk.
It's not the knock one. The knock one, you can kind of see through it. It looks so cool. All right, let's go through rewards.
Did you go through your nits yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Damn, where was I?
Not paying attention, apparently.
Apparently not. Damn, all right. I had one major nit, and it's Claire liking Ethan. It just makes zero sense.
I don't think she actually does.
No, she does by the end. She has a little something for him, and it makes zero sense.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Hot takes, actually.
Oh, I forgot to even write one.
Oh, my hot take is this is the second best Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, okay. What's the best?
Ghost Protocol, number 4. Best Mission Impossible movie.
Okay. I think that is one I've seen.
Except for Jeremy Renner.
I
don't like him in that movie.
That's fair.
I don't like that they were trying to set him up to be like the new person. And it was like, didn't we already try that with the Jason Bourne franchise? we did Bourne, what was it, Bourne Legacy with Renner, and it flopped and nobody cared. And then they had to bring Matt Damon back to finish the series.
Yeah,
Stop trying to make Jeremy Renner a thing.
I mean, he can totally be his own thing. Stop trying to make him everyone else's thing.
Awards?
Yes.
First up is the Psycho shower scene. For the scene that you liked the most in this movie.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Stealing the knock list.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. Whoever has anything else, wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. It's just wrong.
The ability to have such a tense moment in such quiet, slow moments of this movie is just incredible. It's shot wonderfully. And it's just,
I mean, it's a thing you always hear when people are discussing, like, what makes a movie, or when you have to sit through class after class after class of learning how to make movies. It's this scene encapsulates everything that a movie should be. The score, or lack thereof, is perfect. The acting, incredible. The direction, incredible. The set design, incredible. The sound design, incredible. Everything about this scene, perfect.
Yeah.
If the whole movie could have been this, it's a 5-star movie. Unfortunately, there's some stuff that just doesn't work. So it's not. But this scene is as perfect as the opening of Jaws, where we don't see the shark and yet it's pulling her down and we're on edge of our seat anyway.
Yeah.
It's that perfect. Whatever scene you think is perfect in a movie, this scene is as good, if not better, than whatever you're thinking of. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next up is the
Life finds a way.
Award for your favorite line in the movie. What do you got?
I have, it's actually 3 lines because it's a little bit of dialogue, but it's...
So how's it feel to be a solid citizen again?
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna miss being disreputable.
Well, Luther, if it makes you feel any better, I'll always think of you that way.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is just such a cute moment of, like, my favorite character in this movie of Luther, and the whole idea of, he's going on the straight and narrow, but is he really?
No, because he shows up in the other Mission Impossible movie, so we know he doesn't.
He's still in the back pocket. He's still willing to do what is necessary.
I actually really like that moment, too, because it sets up that we didn't need to see them have a lot of interaction throughout the rest of the movie. We just got little beats with them, little moments, and when you get to this part, it shows the mutual respect, admiration, and friendship that they had built, and we didn't need to see it. This one line, this one little back and forth, explains everything. And then when he shows up in future movies, you know why. Just look at this line.
Yeah, they're
Done.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went beyond just working together, and it's so good. My Life Finds a Way award goes to the ending fight on the train when Tom Cruise's character just screams, "Red light! Green light!" slams the gum onto the helicopter. Because if you're going to do an entire fight sequence without any dialogue, except for one line, this is perfect. This is everything it needs to be. It is not a cheesy, quippy one-liner like we get in most action movies where it's like, you chop somebody's head off. Oh, don't go losing your head. Shut up. That's a stupid line. Stop writing lines like that.
Yeah.
This makes sense. This is what he was told about the gum back at the beginning of the movie from Jack. Red light, green light. Put them together, boom.
And you realize that Jim might know what's going to happen.
Again, no dialogue in this entire fight except for that line. You can't get better than that. It's so good. I love it.
It is really good.
Next up is the Han Shot First Award for what held up the worst since this movie came out.
For me, it is the outdated technology. Unfortunately, this is a problem with a lot of spy movies and stuff like that. You really get aged by your technology. So we made a joke about the floppy disk, that being my memorabilia. Obviously that stuff doesn't exist anymore, so it's really hard for a movie to kind of keep up with technology. So it's almost as if they should have just made their own technology, not like based it off of anything that actually exists.
No, because you have to be set in a world that people understand. And if you set new technology, you then have to take time out of your movie to explain that technology.
That's fair.
So you have to just set what people know so that you can get into the story. But I do agree, dating your movie with technology is a struggle. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna forever happen. Movies we watch now, in 30 years, are gonna be like, wow, this is dated as hell.
Yeah.
It just happens. Mine is the pacing. I think some of the pacing doesn't work so well. The movie ebbs and flows a little too much. I wish it was more of a steady build. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Last award, as always, is the Paul Rudd Award for what held up the best since this movie came out. I think it's the story. I think it's the betrayal of the team at the beginning, and then Hunt's adventure on finding who the mole was while trying to get this knock list. There's so many layers to this story that even when you think you have part of it figured out, there's new information added, and it just builds and builds and builds and layered so beautifully, and then it's all solved. It's all answered by the end, and that's very rare. Usually some story thread got dropped at some point. Not here. I think it all works so well together.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I have the action sequences. They work really well. A lot of them still look amazing. There's little bits here and there that are just like, oh, that doesn't look quite right. But most of them work really well. It's what keeps your interest. And I'm talking the action scenes as also including stealing the knock list. Like, that is something that is happening.
Absolutely.
So, and that's something that Cruise does really, really well.
He is an action star through and through. All right, decision time. Final thoughts and decision. Go ahead.
I will say that this movie holds up. There's so much going right for this movie that even my tiny little nitpicks can't ruin it.
Same. I'm going to 100% agree with you. I think this movie holds up. It's a blast start to finish. There's nothing bad about it. There's no language or other than the technology, nothing feels outdated. Like, if they went through and digitally upgraded all of the technology, this movie would play just fine today.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main encapsulation of why this movie still holds up. If you could just update the tech, you could make this movie today and it would work.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, heck, just keep the technology the same and just say, hey, it's a weird world.
You can't break into a floppy disk. You can't hack into a floppy disk from a distance away, but you can do it with modern technology. So yeah, you could totally make this movie and just say they're using a floppy disk because it's more secure.
Yeah, you need a certain old equipment that isn't all around anymore to get into it.
Exactly.
So, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, I'm good with that. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
No, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm probably going to go watch a few more of the other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably watch all of them before we go see the new one, and then we'll have a review out when we see that one.
Yeah.
So if you don't follow us over on YouTube, if you don't subscribe to us, you should definitely go subscribe. We do daily fun facts over there, but we also release new movie reviews as well. We just reviewed Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. A little fair warning. You may not agree with what we have to say in our review, but go check it out anyway, and then comment on there what you think. And if you've seen the movie yet, let us know. You can also find us over on Twitter at DoesItHoldUp13. You can find us on Instagram at DoesItHoldUp13. TikTok, DoesItHoldUp _ between each word. We also have a Facebook page, Does It Hold Up? Come, like, follow, subscribe, do anything. Pick one, follow us on there, watch our stuff. It's actually a lot of fun. Good interaction with a lot of people. And with the daily fun facts, it's some stuff you probably don't know.
Yeah.
So learn some good new stuff. In the meantime, comment below what you thought about this episode, what movies you guys want to see going forward. Thanks for listening. Until next week when we are covering... Oh, we have a special guest next week. So stick around for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And until then, be good, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, don't be a dick, and keep watching movies.
Bye.